If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Mayor-elect Mamdani in a moment, but first a close call at the White House. A former executive collapses right near President Trump at a White House obesity drug event. Fortunate for all of us in terms of the want to see good things happen, Dr. Oz happened to be present. And so what you're about to hear, you have the speaker at the podium. He's not the one that fainted. It's a man that's standing off to the side right next to President Trump. And as he's dropping, you're going to hear the speaker stop his comments and say, is everything all right? And then you see the camera cut to the man, and Dr. Oz runs over and catches him as he's falling to the ground.
For nearly 150 years, my company, Eli Lilly, has been investing in America. We've been advancing science and creating high-value jobs. But today, are you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
Press, we're going. Thank you, press. Press, right guys. Cameras, we're done.
Press was quickly escorted out of the room. President Trump was literally standing right next to the man, and you could see the concern on the face of the President of the United States. Again, Dr. Oz was able to catch the man as he completely dropped, but before he hit the ground. One of the stories that we're also following, I was really hoping for this teacher out of Virginia, and she has won her case. Abby Zerner awarded $10 million against a school official who sued because the assistant or the former vice principal failed to stop a 6-year-old who shot her. Now imagine for this teacher. She's 25 at the time and had only been teaching for 2.5 years. She testified in her own behalf at the trial, and she's a former first grade teacher, Abigail Zerner. She sued Ebony Parker. I've told you folks about these ethnic names. Oftentimes that tells you all you need to know. But the former vice principal of Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia, she sued for gross negligence, alleging that the former vice principal failed to act on multiple warnings that this 6-year-old boy had a gun and was acting alarming the day of the shooting. Apparently, the former vice principal refused to check the child or the child's bag to see if he had a gun. And indeed, this 6-year-old child had a gun and shot his teacher in the chest and in the hand. And the teacher said that she felt that she told the jury that she thought she had died and was going to heaven, while the child who was standing by her desk had took out the 9mm gun and opened fire, again shooting her through the hand and in the chest. Can you imagine that? 25-year-old teacher, only on the job for 2.5 years, shot by a 6-year-old. The vice principal named Ebony Parker didn't do anything. Now she's on the hook for some $10 million, but good luck in collecting that money. President Trump again sounding off on Mayor-elect Mamdani.
You know, I'm so torn because I would like to see the new mayor do well because I love New York. I really love New York. When I left New York for Washington, New York was doing really well, but there were some bad signs. The bad sign was a guy named de Blasio. So the signs of de Blasio, that was the beginning, and it was bad. This one, we're going to, look, for 1,000 years, communism has not worked. Communism or the concept of communism has not worked. I tend to doubt it's going to work this time.
Did you see his victory speech?
No, it's literally never worked. Yeah, I thought it was a very angry speech, certainly angry toward me, and I think he should be very nice to me. You know, I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
So that's not a good look to go up against the president of the United States of America, in particular this president. And Mamdani is about to find out the hard way even before he takes office. Speaker Johnson of Louisiana declaring that Mamdani is without a doubt the biggest win for socialism.
In New York City last night, for the first time in American history, an avowed, openly proclaimed socialist has been elected as the mayor of America's largest city. Zoran Mamdani is without a doubt the biggest win for socialism in the history of the country, and it is the biggest loss for the American people. He is truly a committed Marxist. And the results of that race tell you everything you need to know about where the Democrats and their party are headed.
Very, very interesting. Mayor Adams, we'll hear from him in a few minutes what he had to say the last couple of days. But we see all your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Let's start with Rachel in Brooklyn. Rachel, what's on your mind?
People are saying that even if Curtis would have backed out, he still wouldn't have won. However, I agree with you what you said yesterday. You were still blaming Curtis because if he had backed out, it would have given Cuomo the momentum, and he could have won. What nobody is talking about, all this damage. Yes, Cuomo could have easily won because Curtis did so much damage by both debates. All he did was bash Cuomo until the day of the election. He spent most of his time bashing Cuomo. So, of course, I'm sure a lot of voters were turned off and decided to vote for Mamdani. So he definitely would have had a big chance in winning if Curtis was out from the race from the beginning, as you suggested. So all that, a lot of damage was done, not just by Curtis staying in the race, but his constantly bashing. Instead of Mamdani, he could have gotten Mamdani's numbers down by concentrating on Mamdani, but instead he picked on Cuomo, and he ruined the whole thing, and Cuomo could have won easily.
Well, I hear you, Rachel, but to be honest with you, all of that is now yesterday's story. The campaign happened. I tried to ring the alarm bell. It didn't work. Mr. Sliwa's supporters constantly tried to undermine what I was saying. So they have to live with themselves. They're all in hiding now, but they have to live with themselves. And, it is what it is, Rachel. I'll give you the final word, but I'm tired of talking about this aspect of it. I'm ready to move on because it's now Mayor Mamdani, period. End of story. All of that other stuff has come and gone. You have the final word before I move on to the next call.
Okay.
Oh, Rachel's gone there. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to Julie in New Jersey, line 4. Julie, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I think this is all pretty much a setup that he's going to be talking against Trump, and if Trump ever has to do anything to straighten out New York or not give money there, they're going to start having riots calling Trump a king. And it's going to be Black Lives Matter all over, but it's going to be a Muslim form or the youth form or something like that. I'm just afraid it's just going to be like chaos. What do you think?
Well, Julie, what choice does the president really have? He can't just let Mamdani come in and think he's king and have this 34-year-old kid who doesn't know anything think that he's calling the shots. We have a president of the United States of America who controls the federal dollars, and it's within the president's discretion. If he doesn't want to give the money to New York, good luck with that. So you say it's a setup, but how can it be a setup when the voters could have gone in a different direction?
No, what I'm saying is the setup that Trump is going to be called the king and trying to take over rule of the country like before.
Right, I hear you, but the voters could have steered this ship in a different direction. So how could it be a setup? A setup requires a preconceived idea. The voters could have steered this ship in a different direction.
That's if it was if everything was on the up and up with the voting. Okay, this is just, I feel it's going to spread throughout the country.
Okay, but Julie, every time, the election, funniness with the voting. Come on, Julie, come on. Enough is enough with that. But Julie, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Mike, line 2, New Jersey. Mike, what's on your mind?
Hey, I just want to talk about Curtis, and I wanted to say, why are we blaming Curtis, the Republican candidate? Where are we as a country where we blame the Republican candidate who is opposing a Democrat candidate? And
Mike, I'm sick of discussing Mr. Sliwa. Mr. Sliwa was yesterday's story, is yesterday's story. I don't understand. If you don't understand why he's to blame for this, then there's nothing I can tell you that's going to get. The math is real simple. The math doesn't lie. Cool. You can spin this any way you want to. The math does. You just heard the first call. In the first 2 debates, Mr. Sliwa solely went after, for the most part, Cuomo. Now, do you think that's wise?
So Cuomo misjudged his opponent during the primary.
Okay, that's true. No. We're not talking about Cuomo right now. You brought up Sliwa, so let's stay on Sliwa. Why would you go into a debate and go after Cuomo and give Mamdani, for the most part, a pass? Does that make sense to you?
Can we at least agree?
No. Don't ask me a question. Answer my question first, and then you can ask me one. Does it make sense to you, Mike, to go into two debates, and go after Cuomo and give Mamdani a pass? Does that make sense to you?
Were they not? They were both doing the same thing. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so you're not gonna answer the question, Mike?
I'm saying I agree. That doesn't make sense. They both did the same thing and attacked each other, right?
No. Well, Cuomo was trying to get Mr. Sliwa away from him in terms of the actual numbers. But to be honest with you, Mike, I'm sick of discussing this. All of you apologists for Sliwa, you need to be ashamed of yourself. Because the numbers don't lie. You can't flip this now and say Curtis has no responsibility. This is a direct reflection on the ego of Mr. Curtis Sliwa and the ego of his out of control wife, Nancy. That's the bottom line. But I'm sick of talking about it. I want to focus on Mamdani and what we have to deal with. Okay, Mr. Sliwa made his bed. Now he has to lie in it. It's as simple as that. Let's go to Cynthia. Oh, no, I got to take a break. Cynthia, I'll come to you, Cynthia, and all the other calls. We have the lovely Sandra, Richard in Florida, Joe in Lynbrook. All your calls, 800-848-9222. Dominic Carter here with you. We are coming right back.
It's easy to get stuck reaching for the same familiar fruits and vegetables, even when you know a colorful variety is key. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie supplements don't replace fruits and vegetables, but it makes it easy to add more variety to what you already eat. With 31 ingredients that are whole fruits and vegetables, switching it up is easy because we've already taken care of the hard part. Go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code POD.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we are back. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my X, at Dominic TV, and David Broder responding to the last call we just had, and I'm quoting here directly. He says, A, he makes 3 points. A, the New York City GOP ran the same guy who lost by 40 points in 2021. B, he ran unopposed. That's very important, folks. He goes on to say the hapless GOP couldn't recruit anyone else to run. C, the hopeless candidate was stubborn, made dubious claims about $10 million offers to drop out, and essentially handed New York over to a socialist. So that's what's one of the comments are on my Twitter in response to the last call that we just had. Let's go to line 3, Cynthia in Uniondale. Cynthia, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Two comments. Number one, I heard a recent interview with Curtis. He said, I will accept the outcome. He said, I'll accept the outcome. I don't know what he's going to do. The second thing is, the caller from the Greg Kelly show, he was talking about Europe and the, the Muslim movement and stuff like that. In Germany, I have friends who live there. The Germans don't mess around. They are cracking down on them. They cannot get in control or try to take over in Munich and Germany or any place else in West Germany. This city is in big trouble if somebody doesn't just get smart and crack down. We can't have this. The Muslim thinking, the Muslim brain, Muhammad, made sure these people knew that you're okay. If you kill, you're going to heaven. You're fine. You'll be fine. They believe this. And
Cynthia, the train has left the station. The man is already the mayor in a matter of days. It's the time to make this argument was 3 days before the election. It's a wrap. He's got control of the city. He's already told you, this is my city. And he said effective immediately. He's not even sworn in until the 31st until January 1. But thank you for the call. Let's go to Sandra, line 5, New Jersey. Sandra, how are you today?
Oh, I'm okay, Dominic. I want to tell you something. Yesterday I was thinking about this young person, how, he was on a high on this campaign. He was loving every minute of the attention. But you know what, Dominic? The honeymoon is over, and reality is going to set in, and I'm going to wonder if he's going to really like this job after all. And then today, my friend sent me an article from the Babylon Bee. I never heard of it, but...
Wait, Sandra, wait, I want you to finish, but I got to be straight with you. He's going to love the job. Who would not love being the mayor of New York? Who would not love having a police detail that on your every move, there are at least 5 or 6 police officers, plus the officers that are set up at the next location for you, the advance team, plus the officers. It literally, Sandra, you can go, you get a police detail. You get a police detail. My stepdaughter, my wife, my parents. It's what is there not to like? You give speeches. The world moves on your beat. The event does not start until you walk through the door. What is there not to like?
Right. Well, in this article, he says that he didn't realize that he's going to have to start working. He was comfortable staying home. He even said, I didn't think this through. I was all excited about the campaign and all that, but now this is terrible. What did I get myself into?
Now, what type of job is that?
This is from Babylon Bee, an article from Babylon Bee.
About what position?
About him being mayor. He's shocked.
Wait. It's not Mamdani. About who being mayor?
Oh, Mamdani. He's shocked. He's horrified. He woke up this morning. He realizes, oh my God, I have to work.
Wait. Why would Mamdani do an article for the Babylon Bee? That doesn't make sense. He can get the New York Times. Why would he do the Babylon Bee? Okay, I gotta go, Sandra. Thank you. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we are back. A number of you are posting on my Twitter at Dominic TV that the Babylon Bee, it's based on satire. And so that it's basically a joke, right? And so maybe I couldn't understand Sandra correctly in my headset. But folks, I don't deal with jokes with the humor. I take what I do in terms of politics very, very, very seriously, because I know the outcome, the implications of what we do. Case in point, Mayor-elect Mamdani. Let's continue with your telephone calls. We have these whole shows planned out for you. But given the outcome of this election, I think the best public service we can do right now is just to talk. So let's go to Ina, line 3, Manhattan. What's on your mind, young lady?
Hello, Dominic. How are you? Long time
I'm well. Go right ahead, please.
Because I don't know who blocked me one time, so that's why I didn't call.
No one blocked you. No one blocked you. Anybody that works with me knows I don't believe in that. There are maybe 2 people one for an anti-Semitic comment, another one who said that I was nothing but an affirmative action hire, and one other person. Only 3 people that are banned. That's it. Everybody else, we take their calls.
Anyway, I called to talk about the election.
Okay.
Curtis and Como not to be blamed. These people was organized, were planning a long time ago. They had meetings, they had dinners.
Doesn't matter how organized they were. If it wasn't for the dysfunction, they would have still lost. Doesn't matter how organized they were. But go ahead, Ina.
How could they lost? Because they have a group of people.
Because, Ina, I'm tired of talking about this. It is what it is. I've already gone on record. If a certain candidate had dropped out, we wouldn't be in this position. But his ego is too large. And thus, we're all in this position. Why are you being an apologist for one of the candidates? I don't understand.
I'm not. I'm talking facts.
You're not talking facts. You're talking speculation. But go ahead. You're giving your opinion. And there's nothing wrong with that, but your opinion is not a fact.
You're not
I'm talking facts.
People, you're not. Let me talk. And let me give
Ina, I got to be honest with you. I want to be completely honest with you. I am in the business of ratings. I have to take the most compelling calls, and you talk a little too long saying much about nothing. So get to the point, please. I have to move on.
You must let the callers talk.
Okay, Ina, for the last and final time, make your point quickly, and then I'm moving on.
I said the people that were organized.
You said that already.
They're organized, and this is why they won. Because
this is not why they won. I said that already. Is there anything else that you want to add to the conversation?
You do this to every people. Get out.
Okay, thank you, Ina. You're done. Let's go to Richard, line 4 in Florida. Richard, what's on your mind?
Dominic, Como needs to take a little hit on the results of this election. When he lost the primaries, he wasn't sure if he was going to run. You know, he was a little shaky about it. He wasn't affirmative. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do right. And he took too much time apologizing regarding the COVID. He should have got that out of the way. She should have done a press conference.
But Richard, wait. Richard, if he had apologized for COVID, that would have taken over. There's a reason why he waited into the 11th hour. If he had apologized a month ago, that would have been the narrative for the entire month of his campaign. Politically, he could not do that. He had to wait until the very end. But go ahead.
I understand the point, but getting it out, maybe those people that didn't want to vote for him, he probably will have won them over. You never know. Third process. I believe the way he campaigned the last 2 weeks, he should have done that from the get-go. He went all out.
But see, but that's a risk, Richard, and I'm going to let you, that's a risk that politicians take when they run a Rose Garden strategy. So if you're finishing your first term, you're the president of the United States, you try to run a Rose Garden strategy, right? Where you basically ignore your opponents, and generally it works. But sometimes it could blow up in your face. And that's what happened to Cuomo. And then you had this young kid with this social media stuff, this $1 million smile. He wants to be a rapper. He's got a mommy that's a movie director. He's got an anti-Semitic dad that hates Israel, but was a professor at Columbia. And they managed to put it all together. And thus you have this guy. He's now the incoming mayor of New York. Your final words, Richard, before I move on.
And the last part is, I think the Democratic machine should have done more for Como. A lot of them still quiet, and took no. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, he was not he was not the Democratic candidate. They can't do anything.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't, Richard. Because once he lost the Democratic primary, they are officially done with him. There's nothing they can do. Nothing. He's no longer a Democrat. The Democrats have to represent the person that won the Democratic nomination.
Right.
And that's Mamdani. But thank you. I got to move on. Thank you for the call here. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which one. to go to here. Let's go to Joe, line 1, Lynbrook. Good afternoon, Joe. What's on your mind on this Thursday afternoon?
Oh, well, first of all, Dominic, I have to say, you called it. You were correct.
But that's not what this is about. Joe, you don't think I knew I was correct months ago?
Oh, yeah. Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead. But what I'm trying to say, there's no need to say I was correct because Joe, this is going to sound very arrogant. You have some people on the radio that just talk and they don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. And then you have people like me that I don't say it unless I know it's a fact. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I know that. See, I can't vote in New York City anymore. I vote in Nassau County. But now these people voted for what they got. Now they have to live with it.
That's not cool, Joe. That's not cool. That's not cool because you have people that are panicking. You have people that are petrified. And we can't just be that simplistic to say you voted for him, so now live with it. I mean, that's not cool. Is it? Is it, Joe?
Well, to me, yes. I mean, they voted for it. Okay? Dominic, trust me. I'm not bashing anybody. Okay? But, you know what? I live in Nassau County. We got what we wanted. But, you know what? These
and
people voted.
You're right about that. The people of Nassau County don't play. You get what you want, and I respect you for that. I really do.
Okay, but Dominic, come on. You're a smarter guy than I am. You called
no, I don't
the race.
know about that, but go ahead.
You called the race. You knew what you were doing. All right. Now they elected a socialist. Now they have to live with it. I mean, what more can I say, Dominic?
Right. Fair enough, Joe. Thank you for the great call as always. Let's go to Barbara, line 4, Newburgh, New York. What's on your mind, Barbara?
Hey, Dominic. I'm your morning coughing in the afternoon calling you again.
Oh, isn't that nice? But how do I like my coffee? How do I like my coffee?
Kind of dark.
No, do I seem like a dark guy with my coffee? I like my coffee with plenty of cream. And I used to have the sweeteners, but thanks to you listeners, Barbara, you've been Sandra's of the world, the Liz from Florida of the world. You know, they sent me first it was Sandra. She sent me the liquid Splendor, and now I live off this stuff. But go right ahead, Barbara.
Hey, here's my deal. If Curtis was really, really considering helping the city of New York, why didn't you become a councilman 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Work yourself up through the ranks if that's what you really, really wanted. But he just wants to come in and be the glory. If you really want to help, run for city council. And my other point is this, the millions and millions and millions of dollars that were spent on these campaigns in New York and New Jersey. And there's people, even regular people that are immigrants that can't afford a meal. There should be a cap on that. I mean, I think that is it's just not right. Millions of dollars on that.
I'm not gonna comment on the Sliwa part, except to say that in the months ahead, he's gonna be a casebook study for what's wrong with public financing. That the fact that, and I'm guilty with my help, he received millions of campaign dollars and only came in at 7.8% of the vote, whatever it is. Millions of dollars from the public, from taxpayers. And I'm going to leave that alone. So, Barbara, thank you. But Barbara, remember, I like the coffee with plenty of creamer. I know creamer is not good for you. And thanks to Liz in Florida and Sandra in New Jersey. They got me on the liquid Splendor thing and all this other stuff. And, they're hooking a brother up. But thank you, Barbara, for the great call here. Let's go to George, line 3, Long Island City. George, what's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing, Dom? So I've been listening to your show before the election, mid-election, and after the election. And honestly, I don't think any of them would have changed how the city is going. I do elevators. I do a lot of NYCHA elevators. And I see the lifestyles. And that city is a leaking faucet of money being wasted. And I don't think that any of these mayors that could have been elected would have done anything to change. Now, I'm pro-Trump, and I'd love to see Trump, but he'll never be here, so we're not even going to talk about that. But somebody like Trump, Democratic or Republican, then start tying, like I guess Barbara said, a cap on paying for children, a cap on how much people...
George, you see what they just voted for. They would never vote for a Trump like in New York City. Never anymore. Now you got a crazy city council go along with a crazy agenda mayor. That's what you have.
Exactly. Yeah, Jesus.
I mean, you and I don't know, maybe we're dinosaurs. I don't know. I want to tell a story about what happened on the train yesterday, but I don't think it's appropriate. So, Okay, I'm going to tell the story, and I'm going to make it quick. So you've got these clowns. So sometimes I drive in, sometimes I take the train. I'm at the 34th Street Penn Station. You're waiting for the train to leave. I'm waiting for get to Secaucus to get to my train. And these two guys are sitting and they're talking, and they have one of those electric bikes blocking 3 rows of seats. I don't play that. I don't play that. Men sitting with their legs wide open on the subway system, but where they taking up almost 3 seats. I will intentionally sit next to you if you have your legs wide open, because I'm going to make you close your legs. So I asked the guy, could he move his motorized bike up? No, I can't. So because he didn't do it, I did it for him. He jumps up, he's ready to start yelling and screaming, and he thinks I'm going to get intimidated. And he called me something, George. This goes to your point. He called me, and I think I can say this because it's not the actual N-word. This is another black man, nothing but white people on the train, and he jumps up, and he calls me a house Negro. And he doesn't know me, he doesn't know I'm on the radio. And my reply to him was, if I'm a house Negro, what are you? And he didn't have an answer for that. And then he called me an old man, and he looked older than me. But, I've asked some people about it, and they said, well, Dominic, things are so bad in our community. To see a black man with a suit and tie on, the perception is that you got to be a house Negro. And so, George, these are the type of people that are voting. So you come in with common sense, and I agree with you on everything that you said. We need a Trump-like mayor of New York City. But it's never going to happen because these pimps, that's what they are, pimps. That's what Mamdani was, the mayor-elect. A pimp comes in, free. Check it out. Check out the game I'm running. Free. And he's elected. That's the world that we live in. Thank you for the call. I want George. I'll give you the final 15 seconds before I go to a break. Go ahead, George.
Thanks.
George, your phone is breaking up. Oh, George's phone broke up. Folks, we see all of your calls. I wish I had the time to take all of them. What I've got to do right now is take a break. Yeah, the guy on the train called me a house Negro. Ain't know nothing about me. To my reply was, if I'm a house Negro, then what are you? And all of these innocent white people on the train are watching these two black guys go at it because I asked this fool to move his electric bike when he thought that his bike could occupy 3 seats. This is the world that we live in. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, final thoughts of the day. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my X, at Dominic TV. Folks, I don't care if you disagree with me. It just has to be somewhat logical, which is exactly what Suzanne Stepanek just did. She says, granted, she says here, Mr. Sliwa should have gotten out, but she says Cuomo should have done his apology a long time before the campaign instead of waiting until the last minute to admit that he made mistakes. She goes on to say he was a flawed candidate and he owes a lot of responsibility for not winning. Now, Suzanne makes a whole lot of sense in what she just said. I can't argue with that. What she's stating is fact. It's her opinion, but it's based on fact, as opposed to, oh, don't blame this candidate. Give me a break. Anyway, Suzanne, but here's why he couldn't do that. Here's why you have to, this is going to sound nuts. When you're in public life, you're not just playing to the actual public, to the voter. You're also playing to the money crowd. You're playing to the media. There are different audiences at all times. And so, Suzanne, if Cuomo had apologized a month ago for the final month of the campaign, it would have been COVID stories and his apology. There's no way in the world that he could have done that. So that's why, because it would have been death of 1,000 cuts. So that's why you wait until the very last day. The press doesn't have time to attack on it, and thus you can say you made the apology. But Suzanne makes some great points there. So Tony in White Plains says he's going to give me what? What is it, Tony, you're going to give me in White Plains? Good afternoon.
Yeah, the true facts. If you took all of Curtis's votes and gave them to Cuomo still wouldn't win.
Okay, now, Tony, do you want the rebuttal, or you just want to keep spouting stuff that's not accurate?
It is accurate.
Okay, do you want the rebuttal, or do you just want to keep spouting stuff? Because if you don't want the rebuttal, fine, I'll just let you live in ignorance, if that's what you want to do.
No, go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
So, based on the numbers that you and every other Sliwa supporter keeps throwing out there, if it is true that Mamdani would have still been ahead, but by only 1.5%. 1.5%. That momentum for Cuomo guaranteed would have pushed him over the top, and right now we'd be talking about the flawed mayor-elect Cuomo, and Mamdani would be somewhere doing his next rap video. So what's the next point you want to make, Tony?
Okay, can I respond to that?
Tony, go ahead. We're short on time.
Okay, you're assuming that...
I'm not assuming anything. I'm not assuming anything. Go ahead.
That Cuomo would get all of his votes.
I thought you said you want to give me some facts. Do you have any facts, or are you just going to waste my time?
Do you think... Are you there?
Of course I'm here. You're live.
Do you think that Curtis, all of Curtis, 100% of Curtis's votes would have went to Cuomo?
No,
100%?
of course not. Of course not. But I think at least half would have. And Cuomo still would have. I think that if Mr. Sliwa had got out and had not been a stalking horse in those two debates for Mamdani, answer a question for me, Tony. Why do you think Mamdani in the debates kept saying, I agree with Curtis? Why do you think that happened? Why?
Well, obviously, Curtis was Cuomo was the better, the more logical kind of.
No. I asked you a simple question. Why do you think Mamdani in those debates kept egging Mr. Sliwa on, saying, I agree with Curtis? Why?
Because he thought Curtis couldn't win.
No, because Sliwa was being a stalking horse against Cuomo. It was 2 against 1. What part don't you see, Tony? What is wrong?
Wait a minute. Can I just say something?
Tony, we have 30 seconds left in the show. Just say it.
How about Adams? If he wasn't so corrupt, you wouldn't have Mamdani right now.
Oh, please, give me a break. Who went out the prince? Adam went out the prince. They gave up his mayoralty for the good of the city, which is exactly what Sliwa should have did. That's how you play your cards, the way that Adams did. You don't do what Curtis did. Mr. Sliwa has to live with this for eternity, and the record books will record this for eternity. And that's the bottom line. Tony, next time, please do me a favor. Don't waste my time. Call up with real facts. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. I will be back at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.